What is happening, guys? So, as you can see, we're on the YZF-R125. This is my second day of riding it, second day of owning it, and I thought I'd do a little bit of a first thoughts. So first thoughts of a YZF, it's obviously the third generation version, and it is it's a Monster Energy, the MotoGP, basically collab type thing we did. So it's a MotoGP livery. It's a bit like a rare version. I don't know if that's true. I'll be honest with you, I've not seen that many people selling it. Not really seen it around that much. And when I have a look on the online, it does say it is like a limited edition livery that they did with them. But yeah, my first thoughts on it. And so far, I think it's an absolutely brilliant bike. And obviously, I know I said about the Zontes, but I do still agree with it. I still do think the Zontes was a brilliant bike. And you've obviously got different bikes for different people, different riding styles, and such and such. So obviously, as I always go on about, I've had a lot of different style bikes. I've drove sports bikes, I've drove scramblers, crossers, supermotos, all that type of stuff, street fighters, naked bikes. And as I said in the first video of this, I always go back to sports bikes. It's in my blood. I don't know why, it just is. I've always been one for sports bikes. I've always been a fan of MotoGP. Always like the racing element to it all. I just like the sportiness of being on it. Plus it feels like you're on a bigger bike on this one. But yeah, what's my first thoughts? Like, so far, very, very good. The only downside I would say about this bike is the exhaust. It's got a Black Widow exhaust. Apparently it's a Black Widow exhaust. I don't think it is a real one. I think it's just a sticker. But it's very, very loud. Like, you'll be able to hear it now. And it's got the baffle in it. Like, when I drove it home yesterday from Woodhead, it was so loud around the baffle. Like, this is loud to me already, but it was just even louder. But from looking at the actual exhaust, it looks like it's just a slip-on. Like, it's a full system, but it looks like the end can be changed. So if it can, I think I'm going to get a different style, probably similar to what I had at my Zontes, the carbon fibre style. So there's not as big as a hole and a DB killer in the back of it. So I think I'm going to change that because it's too loud for me. I know it's what a lot of people like. To be honest, I'm on a few forums, so I'm going to see if anyone's interested in the actual exhaust. I'll see if I want to swap it. Don't get me wrong, it's a good exhaust, but to me it's just a bit too loud, especially for a YZF. It just doesn't suit the YZF styling in my eyes. A YZF is a sporty sound, not a grunting supermoto sound, and I've always said that about them. But as far as like the actual bike as it comes, standard and that, everything else is pretty much standard. There's obviously a few little gold trick bits added onto it and stuff like that. It's got a heavy duty DID gold chain, I believe it is. It's definitely a gold chain, so it looks like it's a DID chain. But as far as anything else, I think that's it. I think there's nothing else really upgraded on it. But as far as like handleability, so far it handles very, very well. Like, it is very light with your legs. You can manoeuvre it around the corners. When you're coming around the corners or coming out of the corner, it picks up quite easily. I think when you're not moving the bike, it does feel like a heavy bike. But when you're obviously riding around, it doesn't feel heavy whatsoever. A thing I would say is I'm used to this, but you are very much on your wrists. And this is the reason why the other guy wanted to swap, is he wanted an upright position bike, his back hurt, his wrists hurt. He didn't want to be overweight leaning on his wrist, which I can understand because you do feel it on your wrists. But for me, I'm used to it. I don't mind it. Like, I don't use the bike every day. I use it for commuting like twice a week pretty much, or like if I'm going out with my friends on the bikes and stuff like that on the nice weather runs. But you can see how if you use it every single day, and if you're like a bigger rider than me, it would hurt your wrists a lot. The thing I would say to upgrade, which I am doing, I'm going to get some better grips, because they're not the grippiest and they're not the softest of things. They are quite a hard material, so obviously that, coupled with all the weight being on over your shoulders onto your wrist, you can understand why people obviously say it hurts a lot. But yeah, as far as like the handleability, it handles brilliantly around the corners. Comfortable. I'm 6'5" and I'm 16 stone 4. The guy who I got the bike for, I don't know how much he weighed. I want to say he was 17 stone, 17, 18 stone, something like that. And he was a lot smaller than me. I don't know how big he was. Probably I want to say 5'8" or something. and it looked okay on him. To a point where I thought, oh, am I going to look a bit daft on this? Am I going to look too big? But to be fair, I don't. And I think the reason for that is it's a big style bike. It's a full-size bike. And I think like the third generation compared to the first generation, I think the first generation were very high up and very squished up type of style, whereas this is literally the same styling as like the R3 and the R6. So it's actually quite comfy. Like the seat is actually quite comfy as well. The seat's not as comfy as the Zontes, but I mean it won't be, it's a sports bike. But saying that, for a sports bike, the seat is comfy. I've been on the KTM RC125 before, and there may as well have been no seat on that. The Aprilia RS, what I used to run, again, the seat, it was just a thin bit of material. Whereas this actually feels quite comfy. It's quite surprising how comfy it is. You can see, obviously, if you were riding for a long time, then yeah, it probably would get a bit uncomfy. But to be honest with you, I'll find that out tomorrow, because I'm going for a ride with the brother-in-law. I think I'm riding for about an hour, helping him move some of his stuff about. So I said, right, we'll go on the bikes and we'll have a nice ride out and stuff like that. But yeah, so it is quite a comfortable bike. You can see where it would hurt on the wrists if you had a bit heavier. I would definitely recommend upgrading the grips, like I said. The power is definitely there. Like, the Zontes were quite quick, and I think obviously I did all the chain and I did obviously the front sprocket. I think the Zontes was quick on the top end, like you could get 74 out of it, and it could cruise around at 60 miles per hour because I did the sprocket conversion on the front. But it took a while to get to those speeds. This seems to have it seems to have quite a lot of torque in it, and it's got the top end speed. So yesterday I've not took it out for a full-on like run to see how much I can get, but it's got the 70 miles per hour limit. Well, not the limit, it's got the 70 miles per hour speed on there and more if you want to push it. I will have to go onto a private road and do a speed test, but you can easily get over 70 on this, 100%. And I think the guy who had it said he was doing it got to like 60-65 miles per hour, but I don't think he was obviously changing it like you would on a change of sports gear, like on the gearing and stuff like that, or he might not have just wanted to go all out. But the speed is there. It has definitely got the power. It's got the overtaking power, which I like on a 125 as well. Concentrate on road. Yeah, it's got the overtaking power as well. When I was on the country roads and I'm going past some cars and stuff, and you think on the Zontes you felt like, oh, I don't want to go for this overtake because I feel like I'm going to not be able to get around the car fast enough, whereas this you know you're going to be able to get around that car, which is good, really good. So I think obviously if you're younger than me and you want a sports bike, I mean it doesn't matter what age you are, if you want a sports bike, very good bike to get. Obviously the Yamaha has been around for years, the R125 has been around for years. Obviously there's first gen, second gen, this is the third generation, and I do think the third generation is the better looking one, just for like the little things of how the nose cone is, how it's pointed, little thing like your vents on the your airbox, and that is apparently that's where your airbox is. It's really good. That's my brother-in-law. But yeah, I think the styling of a third gen is absolutely spot on. Like, to me, it just doesn't look like a 125, and to be honest with you, my brother-in-law was just gone past then, he said the same thing. He said you just wouldn't, when you're driving it, apart from the L plates, you wouldn't think it was a 125, which I think is good, because there's nothing worse than getting a 125 and it looking small, looking crap, looking like it's not fast enough. So I think like the overall look of it, I think it's absolutely brilliant, really nice looking bike. I think the colour scheme of this as well is really good. The design and everything, I drink Monster Energy all the time, so it pretty much suits me down to the T, this bike. But yeah, I think the design and obviously everything is really good. There's a few things I would change, which I will be changing. I'll be changing the levers to shorter levers, to anti-snap levers like I did on my Zontes. Changing the grips, putting some bar end protectors on there, which I'll be having like the brake lever ones. There's no real, if you fall off obviously it protects your levers, but I just like the style of them. But there's a few changes I'm going to do. The mirrors, actually, the standard mirrors are very good. Quite surprising, because on a lot of times on sports bikes the mirrors are shite, but these are actually quite good. They're not wobbling about, they're not vibrating everywhere. You can see past your arms. Obviously when I'm on here, I'm quite a big build anyway, but I don't know if you can see it on camera, but I can see past my elbows, which is good. Obviously if I want to see a bit further in, I just pull my elbow in. but you can see everything you need to see. So yeah, first thoughts on the bike. Very happy with it. I think I got a good deal. Let me know what your thoughts are. I think I've got a good deal swapping this on test for this. It'll be interesting to see what I do to the bike, how I make it my own, how obviously my riding style changes and going around the country roads and stuff. It'll be interesting, but this is the first commute on the bike, and so far it's quite nice. Yeah, until next time guys.